Oh, that's kind of tasty. Wow, that's interesting. Welcome to Happy. In this video, we're going to talk garlic chives. Garlic chives is a super easy herb to grow. It's been cultivated by the Chinese culture for like 3,000 years. It looks a lot like chives, but it's not. It's actually much easier to grow. In this vid, we're going to talk about the differences between garlic chives and chive. We're going to talk about how garlic chives is eaten, and we're going to talk about one very important thing you should do if you're growing garlic chives. Welcome to Happy.
Hey, wait.
So what's the similarities between garlic chives and chives? Both of them are perennial. They grow from small bulbs that's very similar to a green onion. In colder weather, all the plant structure on the top above the soil will die off, as a perennial will, but it'll come back the following year. They grow in dense clumps. We'll do a close-up of this clump here in just a second. Both of them have like a tubular grass-like dark green leaf. Now those leaves can grow 12, 16 inches long, and if you call that a leaf, I mean technically I think they call them a leaf, but both of them have these 12 to 16, 18 inch long leaves. Both are used in culinary dishes as flavoring, a rather mild flavor. We'll get to flavors in just a second. And as color, it adds a beautiful green. We're looking at the tall stalks. We're going to get to that in a second, but it's the leaves of garlic chives and chives that's eaten. I've also read online that both of them have insecticidal properties. That's like insect repellent action. Both of them are disease and pest free for the most part. Now here at Happy, it's 100% pest and disease free. So what's the difference between garlic chives and chives? Flowers. The garlic chive has a white flower and the chive has a purple flower. We're talking garlic chives as that white flower. Hardiness. Garlic chives are hardier than regular chives. They grow in slightly colder weather, at least one zone colder and one zone hotter than chives. Chives have not lasted on this property. We only tried them once. They just didn't thrive and didn't survive. The garlic chive, we do absolutely nothing with the garlic chive. It just grows. Taste and smell. Now the garlic chive has a stronger taste and smell than chive. Chives is a very mellow flavor profile, slightly oniony, chivey, if that makes any sense, very mild. The garlic chive has that garlic pop. So it's a little more of an oniony pop and a little more of a garlicky pop. The name garlic chives is absolutely perfect for this plant. Leaves is the other difference between the two plants. Now I said they're similar in length, but in shape they're different. The garlic chive will have a flatter leaf, whereas the chive will be very, like almost perfectly round, kind of hollow on the inside a little bit, and thinner. It's very aggressive self-seeder. You want to deadhead the garlic chive, otherwise you're going to get a shit ton of garlic chives around your property. In fact, I believe in Australia it's a nuisance weed type plant because it self-seeds so aggressively. All you need is a little bit of a trowel to give it a little bit of a shake up the soil a little bit, and they'll pop right out. But that's sort of the aggressive behavior of a garlic chive. Once it starts self-seeding and spreading, it's not like you're just going to pull it out like a regular weed. You actually got to kind of dig it up a little bit. Even if I was to pull the green leaves off the plant, it sort of breaks at the level of the soil. That bulb will stay alive, and it'll continue growing. You have to dig it up. Pollinators really like the flowers. Bees, wasps, bumblebees, honeybees, and wasps seem to really like the flowers. I haven't seen, I see it documented online, butterflies, but it's really the bees that do the work. Oh, there's a little ant on there. There's another little pollinator. They are self-pollinating, by the way. You don't need a male and a female. I believe they're technically a hermaphrodite. I think they have both parts. So after the flowers have done their thing, then you're going to get the flowers to transition to something like this. And little black seeds are developing inside these heads. This is the long ass stem, so it gets the seeds up above the ground pretty good. There's several black seeds in each pod. Let's take a look at a pod. So that's the black seed that's inside these heads, and that's the reason you want to deadhead these as soon as the flowers are done. Basically, all we're going to do is get yourself a good handful of the clump. Because the stalks are so long, you don't have to get like too deep, and all you need to do is have a good handful of it. That's it. It's very prolific self-seeder. I know I've already said that, but I can't emphasize it enough. It has a very strong germination rate. The good news is that it sort of does all of its flowering at one time, so it's going to then transition to seeds at one time. This is not a job that you have to do week after week. I put these seed bunches in a compost pile, and so far I haven't had that soil turn, you know, into an obnoxious patch of garlic chives. In fact, nothing comes of it. You see this girl here has been trimmed down. Garlicky. There, we just pulled one out, and we got actually some of that white stem in there, and you see that's a lot like a green onion, a bunching onion, and that's exactly what you can use in the soup. You can use the leaves that are here. You could use that stem. It's all flavoring for soup. So we'll transition to how it's eaten in the Asian culture. We'll take that little piece home. It's eaten throughout Asia. It's eaten in Japan, Korea, India, Kyrgyzstan, Vietnam, Thailand, throughout the entire region. Now remember, the Chinese have been cultivating this for 3,000 years, and she's super hardy. So this plant has gotten around. The leaves are chopped and spread onto eggs and salads and soups. It's used in stir-fry dishes. Eat garlic chives with shrimp, pork, anything you'd use chives or green onions on. Green onions like the bunching onions. Now these leaves sprout out, nice fresh leaves, more or less in the spring. They're not fibery. Actually has a little bit of sweetness in it. Wow, they're really good. Not that garlicky. Strange. There's a garlicky kind of a background. Boy, garlic chives is just the perfect name for this plant. Let's peel some of this. Wow. Man. A little fibery. Excuse me. That pith is fibrous. So they're just like a green onion, but they're more fibrous, and you would use them as flavoring in a soup. Oh, that's kind of tasty. Wow, that's interesting. Garlic, onion. The flowers are eaten in China. The garlic chive flower sauce is a condiment made from fermented ground garlic chive flowers, sesame oil, salt, and Szechuan pepper, ginger, garlic. Oh, it's making me so hungry thinking about that. So flowers, leaves, roots are all edible and eaten throughout Asia. I've also read online that it could be used as an ornamental, like dried flowers or something like that. I don't know too much about that, but dried flowers are dried flowers, and if they keep, fantastic. So this is what the bunch looks like throughout much of the year. When I peel this open, all I see is like a whole bunch of little stalks like green onion. You can pull bunches out, but you're not going to get the roots. So if you want to get some roots, you really need a trowel. Wow. I mean, well, made in China. Yeah, we bought it. So the battery on the phone just conked out, and what I did is I just mauled this root system out, loosening up the soil and then yanking the whole bunch up. This is what they mean when they say it grows in bunches. That's full-blown bunch. Obviously, you can break it up into at least 2 distinct sections right there, and you can plant that. You can pot it for sale. That's got a lot of root right there, but that's sufficient root. You can see down here it's dry as a bone, the soil, and so she flowered and was going to go to seed with no water. I mean, it's just really dry in here. We love the garlic chive because of its hardiness. That's what I enjoy about it here at Happy. It's a zero maintenance plant. We don't water these garlic chives. Wherever they are, that's where they are, and they survive really hot summers. Only maintenance that I need to do is top off the flowers so it doesn't self-seed, and I've just got this terrific disease pest-free plant. I hope you liked this video. Please hit the like button even if you didn't like the video, or if you didn't like me, hit the like button. Please subscribe to this channel. We're standing up a 2-acre exhibition garden of all sorts of incredible plants. Herbs are part of that. We got a whole bunch of herbs throughout Happy. Check out our list of about 440 plants that we're going to fit into this 2-acre property. Take care of yourself. Take care of someone else if you can. Love you. Bye. So I filmed yesterday, and last night I continued writing our web page for the garlic chives, and I learned a lot about how this is cooked. This is actually cooked before the bulb opens. It's picked when the bulb is a bulb. This is eaten, you know, cut basically in half, cooked up, cut in half, and served with soy sauce and some other magic. Some cooks cut off the bulb. Others say you can eat the bulb. It's just going to be more of a garlic pop. The recipes are online, happy.org/garlic chives. I was so impressed with the traditional use of garlic chive, the traditional use in China, that I went to our compost pile. I'm going to rinse the hell out of it, and I'm throwing it into a soup. I'm just basically going to toss it in to kind of a chicken stock base and eat it. And this is from only 4 bunches. I mean, this is a ton of plant material. I mean, it's got some real weight to it. Anyways, next time I'll bring out a bigger bowl. I'll have the recipe on our webpage, happy.org/garlic chive.